Hi guys, sorry I couldn't be here today. We have a couple pages of notes that we have to go over, so I advise you to stop the video as I go along through these notes. I know we jumped away from equations, and that's because we needed to get to angles and supplementary and complementary angles, but we're going to jump back into solving equations and solving for x for a day or two. And what we're going to learn today is how to solve inequalities. So inequality means less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. And I'm going to show you how you need to graph inequalities. So let's say we have a less than, and less than kind of makes that L and it looks like that. Let's say we had B is less than 4, and you should be writing this down with me. In order to graph B is less than 4, I'm going to place 4 in the middle of my number line, and I'm going to circle the number 4. Now, when it's just a less than sign, all I do is I leave an open circle. So the circle should be open. And when it's less than, the less than or equal to or the greater than actually points the arrow where you should go. So since the less than is pointing this way, I know I have to draw my arrow going this way. So B less than 4 is open circle with 4, and we shade everything that's less than 4. So that would be 3, 2, 1. So everything greater than 4 would be 5, 6, and 7. So that's how we would graph a less than. How we graph a less than or equal to, which it looks like this, would be a little bit different. Let's take the example E is less than or equal to 8. Again, I'm going to place 8 in the middle of my number line, and I'm going to draw a circle. Now, when it's less than or equal to, this line underneath means or equal to. Since we did this extra thing, we got to do some extra thing with the circle. We got to shade it in. Again, so now less than or equal to, we have a closed circle. Again, the inequality sign arrow points the direction I'm going. So since the inequality is less than, it's going this way, so I have to point in this direction. So I'm going to draw an arrow going this way. And I know that E is less than or equal to 8 would look like this. And it would be 7, 6, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So less than or less than or equal to, open, closed. Let's take greater than. Greater than is going the other direction. And let's say we have the example A is greater than 5. Well, I'm going to place 5 in the middle of my number line, and I'm going to put the circle. And since it's just greater than with nothing underneath, I leave an open circle. And again, my inequality is telling me to point this way, so I'm going to fill it out. 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have a number line. A has to be greater than 5, and it's going in this direction. So that means I'm going to point my arrow to everything greater than 5. Let's take greater than or equal to. So that looks like this. And let's say I have the example Z is greater than or equal to 7. Again, I'm going to start with 7 in the middle. I'm going to put a circle. But now, since it's greater than or equal to, just like up here when it was less than or equal to, what did I do with the circle? I colored it in, I shaded it in. So since it's greater than or equal to, I got to shade it in because it includes 7. So it includes the shaded dot. And I'm going to finish up, so 6, 5, 4, 8, 9, 10. And it points this way, so Z is greater than or equal to 7. So anything greater than or equal to 7 would be this way. So that's how I'd graph that. Not equal to would look like this. Just an equal sign with a line through it. So let's say S was not equal to 3. Well, I'll start with 3 in the middle. I'll put my circle. I keep the circle open, and this time, because it means it's not 3, but this time I'm going to draw arrows going in both directions because I know S can be anything but 3. So that would be S is not equal to 3. And that is how you graph inequalities. Okay, flip your page over to the next page. This was, well, I made a mistake. I only wanted one set of flip-flops on here, not two, but that's okay. Let's keep going. When we are dealing with inequalities, order matters. Order matters. Please put a big square around order matters. The way it should always be ordered, and you might have noticed it before, was variable first. So that'd be X, A, B, C, whatever it may be. Then the inequality symbol, which in this case could be greater than or equal to, and then the constant, which is just our number or our answer. So X is greater to or equal to 7. If you have to flop, did you see what I did there? The sides of the inequality you must also flip flop the inequality symbol. Please write that down. And if you need to pause the video, this is a great time to pause the video to write this down. So, order matters. It has to go variable, inequality symbol, constant. So let's say I solved an equation or an inequality and I came out with the answer being 11 is greater than B. Well, does this follow our order matters with variable, symbol, number? No, it goes number, symbol, variable. So I have to flip-flop this whole thing. So what it should be is B. So I put the B on this side. I have to flip my symbol is less than 11. Let's say I had 12 is less than or equal to X. Well, my order is not correct, so I have to flip it to be X is greater than or equal to 12. Your answer should always be like this. You only have to flip it if you have the variable on the right side. So, flip your page over to the last one. We're almost done. When you are solving or graphing inequalities, there's the golden rule of inequalities, and that is when you multiply or divide both sides by a negative number, you must flip your sign. That is the golden rule of inequalities. If you divide both sides by a negative number, or if you multiply both sides by a negative number, you must flip your sign. So if I divide both sides by -4, I'm flipping my sign. That is the golden rule. You must follow that rule. So, to solve and graph inequalities, you got to follow 5 simple steps. First, solve for the variable. This is the normal way we've solved. We draw our line, we do the inverse operation of both sides until we got x by itself. After we solve for the variable, we check the order. Like the flip-flops on the last page, we check the order and flip if necessary. Then, after we have x equals blank, or sorry, x is less than blank, or x is greater than blank, then we circle the number on the number line. After we circle the number, we determine is it open or closed. Remember, we talked about that in the first page. Then draw your arrow. I know I just wrote a lot, so if you need a minute to pause the video and write this down, right now is a good time, but I'm going to keep going. So an open circle is for when we use a less than or equal than, or sorry, a less than or greater than sign. A closed circle is for when we use a less than or equal to or greater than or equal to sign. You can also use an open circle for a not equal to. So we have this example, 3x minus 6 is less than or equal to 18. I'm going to go ahead and start this just like it was an equal sign, and I'm going to solve the same way. I'm going to draw my line. Now I want to get my x by itself. I do that by doing the opposite. So what's the opposite of minus 6? Plus 6. And do I do that to one side? No, I do it to both sides. Negative 6 and positive 6 cancels out. 18 plus 6 is 24. Now I have 3x is less than or equal to 24. Now I got to get the x by itself. And to get the x by itself, I have to divide by 3 to both sides. 3 divided by 3 cancels out. And since it's a positive, since I'm dividing by a positive number, I do not need to flip my variable, or flip my inequality sign. So now I'm left with x is less than or equal to 24 divided by 3, which is 8. So, step 1, solve for the variable. Check. Step 2, check the order. Does it go variable, sign, number? Yes, it does, so I'm good. Now I got to put an open, circle the number on the number line. So I'm going to write an 8 here, and I'm going to circle the number. I'm using a less than or equal to sign, so that means I have to close the circle. So I'm going to shade in the circle. And since it's less than or equal to 8, I'm going to fill in the rest of my number line. It's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. The inequality sign shows me which way the arrow should point, so it needs to be going this way. So less than or equal to 8 would be anything less than or equal to 8, so I show that there. Okay, guys, I know that was a lot of notes, but thank you for listening. Go ahead and try these 3 practice problems on your own, and then start the other practice that the sub will give you. Remember, I am collecting all of this for a grade, so please do your best. Help each other out. You may use a calculator on this, and have fun without me. See ya.